deep and rich history at Belmont Park. It is the track where champions are made. A century-plus old. We've had top-class thoroughbreds from May 4th, 1905, and we saw some history about 24 hours ago, yesterday afternoon, when American Pharoah swept the 2015 edition of the Triple Crown, our first Triple Crown winner in 37 years, a raucous house of 90,000, and we are a bit groggy, a little getting towards empty, but we have got a Sunday Belmont Insider edition. We're glad you're with us on MSG Plus. It is Jason Blewitt, Richard Migliore from a picture-perfect third-floor clubhouse studios, and where do you begin to really take a step back and encapsulate what we saw on Saturday?
Well, I think it is still sinking in. Other than the sore throat I still have from my excitement over it, no post-Triple Crown malaise setting in yet. I still feel the excitement. I still feel the energy. And it's just great to be here, and we're going to continue to talk about it for quite a while to come.
It feels very special. I've never experienced anything like that in all my years of being alive, being a horse racing fan since the early 90s. A true moment in time all of us will hold with us for the rest of time. And the good news, American Pharoah came out of his Triple Crown sweep, no worse for the wear. In fact, Bob Baffert, before putting him on Air Horse One this morning from Islip, said, if I had to, I could run him back 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, it's just amazing how fresh he looked this morning coming out of the race and how he let the press get close to him. Most good horses want to bite you, want to kick you. They're just a little bit aloof. He seems to love the adoration, and he loves the attention, people petting on him.
Unbelievable. Now, how does American Pharoah stack up with the 11 other members of that exclusive Triple Crown club? Sir Barton in 1919, all the way through affirmed in 1978, and they welcome the new face, American Pharoah, here at about 7 p.m. on Saturday. We will break it down. The 12 Triple Crown winners, not bad. Second all-time regarding opponents in the wake of American Pharoah when compared to the 11 other names.
Yeah, War Admiral with 32, American Pharoah, 31 opponents. And you could see the fall-off as we get further down the list. Citation, Count Fleet, they just had to beat less competition. Not that this doesn't make them worthy. Obviously, we know how difficult the task is.
It is funny, though, because people kind of bemoan field sizes. Only 7 ran in the Belmont. The Preakness was on the small side. But you look back through history, it's not always a case of the grass being greener. Now, American Pharoah, regarding final Belmont Stakes time, when stacked up against the fellow Triple Crown winners, he's second all-time behind the incomparable Big Red.
And a fifth of a second in front of Affirmed, who was pressed to the limit by Aladar. American Pharoah definitely won with something left. Now, no way he was going to ever challenge what Secretariat did. No horse will ever challenge that. But American Pharoah was very good.
The Derby was close. He had to rate outside horses, and he dug down deep, putting away his stablemate Dorton and firing line between horses. But when you break down that Belmont Park final margin, he was able to kick clear Frosted by 5.5 lengths.
Yeah, and again, made me believe at least that he could have done a little more if he needed to, if he had been pressed. But look at the names in front of him. Secretariat, Count Fleet, Citation, some of the probably most famous horses that have ever raced and graced the turf.
And American Pharoah, by the numbers, Eric Donovan did a terrific job researching all these stats and came up with some pretty cool nuggets. We know he's the 12th Triple Crown winner. I got a kick, though, of seeing over 7,000 miles shipped this year from his base out in Southern California to Hot Springs and, of course, doing the Triple Crown dance over the last 5 weeks.
But again, it speaks to how durable he is, how his mental and physical constitution allows him to do all that traveling, and how about almost a half a million people have attended his races.
And hopefully they are racing fans for the remainder of time. We know Bob Baffert is a racing fan, true and true. Began with quarters with his late father. He is in Racing's Hall of Fame, and he was on the grounds this morning to talk about what happened yesterday and how the horse came out.
It was a beautiful moment, but it was just, I will never forget the sound of the crowd when they turned for home and even past the wire, people were just erupted. It was just like, I've never been involved in anything like that. And plus I noticed yesterday, which was unheard of, I didn't get one heckler in New York. It was the most amazing. I always get at least 1 or 2 hecklers. Bob, not today. nothing. I mean, everybody was on board with his horse. Pretty darn good. You know, he's just a tough horse, and he's handling it. So I don't think we'll give him maybe an extra few days off, but he's an athlete. You know, we have to keep him, moving. You can't let him completely let him down, but he'll tell me. We'll get that weight. You know, he lightened up on us a little bit, but he was supposed to. But he's the kind of horse. Today he looked like I could run him back in 3 weeks. I mean, he's that kind of horse. He's just special, and we had him out there, and he was just really enjoying all the photographers today, and he's a people horse. He just loves to be around people and people petting him and loving on him. He's just a really sweet horse.
So Bob Baffert, some nice things to say about American Pharoah, and it's just amazing how well this horse has just taken everything in stride from day number one.
Even yesterday in the winner's circle, Jason, he's got all these people crowding around him. He just ran 1.5 miles, and he's kind of got his ears up, taking it all in like, what's the big deal, guys? He just as cool as customers can be. I really like how in touch Bob Baffert is with his horse's weight. I think it's a really true barometer of how a horse is doing, and the fact that he kept his weight all the way through the Belmont. Now, he's lightened up a little now, but you would expect that after a hard 1.5 miles.
You would. Now, owner Ahmed Zayed has spent a lot of money, a lot of time. He's been a higher-end owner in this game over the last decade or so. He bred this horse, owned Pioneer of the Nile, ran second in the 09 Derby with American Pharoah's sire, and, of course, on Saturday, he ran into immortality.
I'm on record on that. I think that there is something special about tradition. And when it comes to tradition, I'm very conservative. I don't like to play what could we or not do. I mean, I think horses need to earn it to be a Triple Crown winner. I've been asked before about what's your thoughts about fresh horses coming in, and is it fair or not fair? And I've said no, I think it's absolutely fair. And I think that, again, we have to earn it, and the horse should earn it, and everything should come. And if he wants to define greatness and be one of the special horses, before there was only 11, now he's the 12th, he have to earn it. And spacing or not spacing, we talk about breed, and if the breed are they made the same or not. I think it's different times, different eras, and it's very hard to come and change tradition. I mean, you have to have some benchmark. You have to have some standards where you can look at this horse compared to others.
Well done, Mr. Zayed. I share that opinion regarding the history, prestige, and tradition of the Triple Crown, and I'm glad this year, Mig, we don't have to have that unfortunate side effect of people clamoring that it should be changed and it's too difficult for the modern era thoroughbred.
It's not broke. Don't fix it. It's supposed to be hard. Only great horses are supposed to do it, and we saw a great horse do it. And if Mr. Zayed is so bent on tradition, which it sounds like he is, then he needs to run in one race this summer, and absolutely one race only, and that is the Travers.
I get chills thinking about American Pharoah, what it would be like an afternoon and even that lead-up in Saratoga Springs, the greatest horse racing city in all of the world. So glad American Pharoah is back at his base at Churchill Downs. So get some R&R, and hopefully we will catch up with the mighty American Pharoah down the road this season in the Big Apple. Well, we ran 10 on this Sunday card. It was a quiet, serene Sunday, sort of a lazy dog late spring Sunday. But they were rocking and rolling early on. In fact, Larry Comas has got the call of the first race. A 2-year-old maiden special weight on the Widener, and we'll send it up to Larry.
Rare Candy, it's another 4.5 lengths more to Bombardier, and slow starting Solan trails the field. And now they make their way around the far turn. And it's Shoot Craps and Showbound together through a 22 2/4. And Sunshine Life is coming up and after them with Passaw going 4 wide as they make their way toward the top of the stretch. And here comes Passaw now, moving up alongside of front-running Shoot Craps. Showbound is down toward the rails. Sunshine Life right in behind the leaders, running in fourth, 1 furlong to go. Shoot Craps and Showbound still going at it. Sunshine Life on the far outside. Here comes Rare Candy from far behind. It is Shoot Craps, Rare Candy down the center of the course. Shoot Craps wins it 3/4 of a length. Over Rare Candy, Showbound was third, Sunshine Life fourth.
Very game and determined effort out of the outside runner who was coming in from out of town. Deshaun Parker up on this 2-year-old by trap shot.
Yeah, it must have been pretty exciting for Deshaun. Win a race at Belmont Park. He wins races in bunches elsewhere. And this is the first crop of trap shot, isn't it? And maybe they're going to take to the grass. Here's a horse really stretched his neck out, went for the wire.
First winner for Trap Shot. He's a freshman stallion. Never got that grade 1. He was a grade 1 talent, and they kind of cherry-picked around. I didn't agree, and he wasn't my horse the way they campaigned him once they got him healthy because he was a grade 1 talent. But maybe he's a horse to keep an eye on with his offspring on the turf. He got his first career winner as a stallion. Congrats to Trap Shot. Good to see a shipper come in and take the money. And we are done with that first segment. The famed Ivy Windows of beautiful Belmont Park. We'll be back on this Sunday edition of Insider.
Billy, after 37 years, we finally see the 12th Triple Crown winner. What was your reaction to it, and how was it seeing the crowd react the way they did?
Oh, it was great. I mean, the energy of the crowd and the excitement and so forth was just a wonderful thing, I thought.
Did it bring you back to that afternoon in 1977 when you did it with Seattle Sioux, or were you even aware of the crowd and all that excitement?
I really wasn't. I really wasn't then. I was just hoping that nothing went wrong because I knew I had a good enough horse, but you never know in horse racing.
Seattle Sioux was my personal favorite horse of all time. Where do you think American Pharoah fits with that pantheon of greatness? He seemed very in control yesterday, but where would you stack him up with the all-time greats?
What I can say about American Pharoah is every race he ran in the Triple Crown was a little bit better than the one before. And in the Belmont, he finished really strong. And the other two races, I wasn't too impressed with the way he finished, but he finished the other day. So maybe the farther he goes, the tougher you'll get, or maybe you just needed maturity. But he looked like a really good horse, I thought.
And do you think with the way the crowd reacted and the hunger for the Triple Crown finally happening, do you think this is going to be something that's going to be very beneficial to thoroughbred racing?
It'll be particularly beneficial if this horse goes on and races some more. That's the most important thing. They'll forget about him in a hurry if he doesn't go on and run. If he could run as a 4-year-old, then he'd put his mark on his place in history.
Well, Billy, you've put your mark in a place in history, and thank you for talking with us.
Good to see you, Richard.
Some words of wisdom from the man himself. Sent out Seattle Sioux, an unbeaten Triple Crown winner back in 1977. That golden era with the trio of Triple Crown winners back in the 70s. And might we go on a run where we have a couple more Triple Crown winners over the next decade or so? Regardless, American Pharoah was the goods here on Saturday, and I kind of, was happy to see you catch up with Billy in the paddock today because we spent, you, me, and Andy Serling on the edition of the National Racing Report, which will be on MSG Plus Monday and Tuesday. Seattle Sioux's name, when talking about American Pharoah, came up quite often.
Well, yeah, to me, I think he's probably the horse you could compare American Pharoah to the most. Seattle Sioux, and he had very similar styles. Seattle Sioux, a little bit keener, a little bit stronger, but certainly two horses that possess so much natural speed.
Late in the card, race number 9, opening leg of the late double. We turf for the final time, in fact, on this extended Belmont Stakes weekend, and we go back to Larry Colmus.
They're all in line. They're off. And it's Sorino, bigger picture on the outside. Adirondack Dancer from the inside. Farther out, English Minister goes up with Alexa Hente to show some early foot as well. And then comes Orange Grove to the outside, followed by Kiss of Thunder and Big Blue Talent, Boulder Dash. And Where's Danny is last as they head on to the backstretch, where the leader is Orino. Orino on top up the backstretch over Alexa Hente and English Minister. The opening quarter mile, 25 2/5 seconds. Adirondack Dancer is fourth along the hedge, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then it's Orange Grove to the outside, and Bigger Picture is right in behind them. And then Kiss of Thunder, Big Blue Talent. And just to the outside, it's Where's Danny. Balderdash is last as they move for the turn. A 49 2/2 mile. And it's Reno in front, 3/4 of a length over English Minister. Alexa Gente is third to the outside. Adirondack Dancer sits there fourth along the inside. Just in behind the leaders, Orange Grove follows in fifth. Moving up on the far outside, Where's Danny progressing well. Where's Danny's going to have to go wide, but is making a bid on the far outside. And then it's Balderdash, Big Blue Talent, and Kiss of Thunder. And now the field makes their way toward the top of the stretch. English Minister on the outside. Reno is there. Where's Danny is closing in the center of the course. And then comes Adirondack Dancer, who's angling off the rail late. Final 16th. And it's Reno on the inside, an English Minister on the outside, and these two sprint for the line together. They come down to the finish, and Reno did it over English Minister, and then it was Adirondack Dancer.
That came up on the racing report. Paceless races, Wedding Toast, wiring the Phipps yesterday. Smaller stage in a way, but Eric Cancel rode a smart one on Reno.
Smart one, Eric Cancel, not afraid to go to the lead. And it doesn't matter if it's a 10-claimer or $1 million race. Paceless races are the norm around here.
And the inner turf seems to be favoring horses that have early speed, pace types, or horses that can lay up close. You do not want to be a deep closer, and I just didn't like the ride the 6 Bigger Picture got, who was wrestled back after getting some good position. We'll send it back up to Larry Colmus, who's in position to take us through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10 on this Sunday, June 7th.
Here's SS Dixie on the outside. Oliver Rush is trying to get going and moves through an opening toward the rail into the final 16th. And it is Byron's Pop. And here comes SS Dixie, and up the rail Oliver Rush, and on the outside Meisner Park. But Oliver Rush bounds through late, and Oliver Rush wins it in the end by 2.5 lengths. Over Meisner Park, SS Dixie in front leads the way by 2 over Fenwick Hall. Verisimilitude on the outside. Royal Jest and Summerdale are next. And on the far outside, Rumble Doll is getting going late, but it's all La Bella Valeria here. A 4-length lead on Fenwick Hall, Summerdale, and Rumble Doll. La Bella Valeria under the wire in front. And it was Rumble Doll up for second. Fenwick Hall was the wizard on the far outside. And now it is Tweed Kitten, Grey Wizard, and Andalusite. These three emerge up front. And on the far outside, Grey Wizard's the leader. Tweed Kitten down toward the inside, and Andalusite. But it's Grey Wizard and Junior Alvarado in the center of the course and clear. And Grey Wizard pulls away to win by 4 lengths over Andalusite. Attractive ride off the turn in front. One More Night is second, and here comes Hannibal Lecter on the outside of them as they come into the final furlong. One More Night, Hannibal Lecter on the outside, an attractive ride, but One More Night is fending them all off. One More Night and Kendrick Carmouche with something left in the tank. To beat Hannibal Lecter on the wire, Attractive Ride was third, and Candyman E was fourth. On top, and they lead it by 2. Value Tempo trying to get going once again in second. Blue Shark on the far outside, and then Melville and down toward the hedge. It is quite the issue, and they're into the final 16th. Blarp in front. Value Tempo on the outside, second best as they come down to the wire. It will be Blarp on the far outside, followed by Cosmic Serenity, and they're coming to the top of the stretch. Jules and Rome on the outside. Skinner Box down toward the hedge. Here come Loon River and Daisy Cutter on the outside. Cosmic Serenity's trying to squeeze on through. It's Skinner Box, Loon River, Daisy Cutter on the far outside. Is Viva Malala, and Cosmic Serenity is trying to get into the race with a burst of speed on the inside. Viva Malala to win it. Maybe Cosmic Serenity second, in a photo with Skinner Box comes Bamata, and they make their way to the top of the stretch. Prospero and Bad Hombre 1-2 as they turn for home. 3/4 in 111 flat. They're into the stretch, and it's Prospero all out, put to the whip now. Bad Hombre alongside. These two are 3 lengths ahead of the rest, and then it's Bamata outside of Myadonis. Prospero digs in. On the outside is Bad Hombre. These two pass the 16th pole together, Prospero and Bad Hombre, and Prospero just keeps on grinding it out. Prospero and Kendrick Carmouche win it over Bad Hombre, then Bamata and Days Ride. Tala to the neck of Sing for Beauty, and these two are 1-2 as they turn for home. Great Smile now moving up on the outside of them and right on by. It is Great Smile to the front. Pulling away now to a 2-length lead at the gate pole. Sing for Beauty and a Teller next, and then Lily Coy and Lil Renegade on the outside. Great Smile and Javier Castellano all alone under the wire. And for second, it is a 4-way photo on the line. Lil Renegade was there.
Took Javier a while, but he did get a win on today's card. Took down the nightcap on a weekend in which he won in style the NYRA.com Metropolitan aboard Honor Code, who we talked about on the Racing Report as well. But a second look needs to be had, Mr. Mig, as we take out Cappy's binoculars on this Triple Crown winning weekend. Now let's go back to a big long shot in race number 6. Value Tempo, the gray, who never wanted to give an inch on the outside.
No, he kept trying. He trying to run down the 4-point Hope, who was a 4-year-old. What I thought was interesting, Jason, if the 3-year-old could have found a race against straight 3-year-olds, he probably would have been about 20 or 25 to 1 instead of 50 to 1, and he would have got the money. But a nice first race off the claim for Phil Serpy in Drawing Away Stable.
They have downsized, not claiming as much as they used to, but they've got a live trainer in Phil Serpy and one to look for next time out in Value Tempo. Speaking of next time out, well, these horses are having dinner in a new barn tonight and will be saddled by somebody new the next time they run. We've got a whole bunch of claims to show you. In fact, more than one slate, including an 11-way shake, Mig, in the 5th on one more night.
Well, you know he was in the right spot because he was attractive to 11 different connections, and Steve Asmussen, the lucky winner of that shake, as the owner-trainer.
Very curious to see as we switch the page and we go forward and look at the horses in the 8th with Bellamy Brew, what he can do going forward. Claimed off Belmont by David Jacobson. He had run in about a year and a half, picked up for $32,000. And one of your old friends, Bad Hombre, changed hands today.
In a 4-way shake, Brad Hombre will be having supper, like you said, in the Mike Maker stable today.
We look back at the week that was, and boy, oh boy, was it a great week at Belmont Park. Ingrained into the history of the Palace forever. Stay tuned. Fairway smooth turf courses. Glenn Kozak and his crew doing a terrific job. In fact, the portable rails were taken down entering Thursday's card. There was fresh ground to be had for our turf horses at Belmont Park, and some of them used it to their advantage. In the meantime, though, no advantage was needed for American Pharoah, who he will lead off our top performer of the week, of the year, of the meet, and here he is, another luck.
And just absolutely fun to watch time and time again. A horse that has multiple gears, a horse that knows how to finish the deal, and just a great temperament to boot.
So awesome. Just so awesome. And making Belmont Day that we had a Triple Crown win even better was Shug getting his first victory in the Met Mile.
And wow, what a performance from Honor Code. He was basically in another county when they were at the 3/8 pole, and he picked up his field so quickly. What an acceleration, and what a beautiful stride.
Chills on this 4-year-old who has been patiently handled by a master. Todd Pletcher's been patient with Rockfall, and this was the coming out party. Anybody who doubted this horse at being a potential leader in this sprint division, they were wrong, because he blew up the track here on Friday.
Now, Rockfall is by Speightstown, correct?
Yep.
He looks just like Speightstown running. He's a different color than Speightstown, but if he was Chestnut, you were thinking you would be looking at a spitting image of him.
Our first ever Belmont Stakes Racing Festival presented by DraftKings, and let's get to the leading jockey of the 3-day. Well, we don't have the video of Irod Ortiz, but we do have Irod Ortiz as the number 1 jockey. Let's get on to the standings first with Irod Ortiz. Still the number 1 jockey with, this was day number 29 of 58.
29. He served a suspension besides, so he didn't ride all 29 days, and 33 wins, 8 in front of Javier Castellano. He has been riding in another zone.
Eric Consell hanging out with the big boys, an apprentice rider, scored an upset win with Orino. He continues to ride well. John Velasquez had a good few days at Belmont Park, and we can move on to the leading trainer standings with Todd Pletcher. In fact, there he is. He had more points in the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival than any other trainer, and the awards and accolades keep piling up.
As he's receiving an award there from a champion, Steve Cawthon, actually giving the trophy there to Todd Pletcher for the Acorn. And what can you say about Todd? I mean, he just knows how to get it done at every level, and he certainly has a worthy pursuer in Chad Brown. Kieran McLaughlin's weren't awfully hot, too.
Your stars come out on your big race. racing days. Todd won 3 on Saturday. Chad Brown won 2. Kieran McLaughlin got that Grade 1 win in the Ogden Phipps. Belmont had a winner on Saturday afternoon. Japan looked green but good in the Easy Goer. And Three Diamonds Farm is your Belmont Stakes Racing Festival leading owner. They support the game on this circuit year-round. And good to see those Silks in the winner's circle.
Oh, absolutely. And anybody who puts that much into the game, you want to see them rewarded.
And Michael Dubb, he leads all owners with 10. And how about picking up Slumber privately out of a race, horses for racing age sale, and getting $1 million Grade 1 victory in the Manhattan?
Just amazing. You think he won a $1 million race last year at the Delaware Park Handicap, if I'm not mistaken, with a horse that he claimed. Bel Galante, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Bel Galante, one of the claims to $1 million sell-offs for Michael Dubb in the past. He's got Condo Commando, who did not get a fair shake. In fact, the start of the Acorn, let's not pull any punches, was a complete disaster. And by the moon, it was unfortunate, but she was the one that caused some severe bumping and traffic woes for just about half the field, including Condo Commando.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of the blame lands squarely on By the Moon. There was some pressure from the outside, but the inside coming out. And the problem with it is that there was never any effort, any attempt to correct it. But that's when the stewards got to step in and say, guys, we're not going to tolerate this. You'll see the riding get a little cleaner.
Right, and truth be told, Todd Pletcher wound up winning his third career race in the Acorn. That was his third time winning the Acorn. Had won it back in '98 with Jersey Girl, who coincidentally was his first Grade 1 winner so long ago, and a mare I know you had a lot of success with.
Well, I got to ride her twice, and it was a privilege to ride her. What a talent. Just take you there. Such a raw amount of speed. It was Mike Smith's mount. He was injured, but I was fortunate to at least sit on her twice.
You got to be in the right place at the right time. American Pharoah did not need that. We'll talk about American Pharoah, the big horse, Honor Code, the Acorn with the tough start, all that and more in the National Racing Report, 6 p.m. Monday and Tuesday on MSG+. We leave you with a look at greatness, racing's 12th Triple Crown winner.